Welcome. On this channel, we do unscripted, unedited videos about Linux programming and stuff. If you're new to the channel, you should probably check out the notes in the description. That will explain the format. In this video, I'll be picking up where I left off in the previous. I am doing a little prompt engineering to generate a client and server example program right now. Let's just kind of jump into the code. So, LPS, down into the prompts folder. Good status. I never added the previous. Let's make sure there's nothing extra in there. So it's clean. So I'm just commit this before we move on. Add video. What is this? 43? Yeah, 43 is the directory I meant. Git commit. Add video. Okay, let's start by copying 43 to 4. There we go. Drop it into that folder. 4. Clear. Okay. The previous example, let's just pull up the prompt as it is right now. In the previous example, we didn't really ask it to do anything for the client program, but now I'm actually going to specify what I wanted to do for the client program. And so let's see if we can get a running client that still works. This one did work. We didn't specify anything. It just, kind of made what would appropriately fit. I want the client program should I want the program to start and run in a loop until terminated. Until terminated. We'll just leave it at that. The client, we'll end up doing this up at the server too. The client program should catch sigint and sigterm, and the client program should run forever in a loop. The client program should catch sigint and sigterm and terminate gracefully. The client program should randomly send a random message, send a message to the server. The client program should run in a loop forever. Should run in a loop. Should run in a loop forever. The client program should connect to the server on localhost port 4242. The client server should run in a loop forever. The client program should catch sigint and sigterm and terminate gracefully. the client program should terminate gracefully when it catches sig int or sig term. The client program should run in a loop forever while the client program is looping. The client program should randomly okay, how do I want to write this? The client program's main loop should randomly pause for one to 3 seconds. Then send a message to the server. The client program send a randomly selected message from the available types to the server. Okay, the client program's main loop should randomly pause for 1 to 3 seconds, then randomly select one of the available message types and then randomly select one of the available message types and send an example message to the randomly select one of the available message types and send I forgot how to turn on wrap. I don't use it ever. Message types and send it to the server. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these. Client program's main loop should randomly pause for 1 to 3 seconds. Then I'm just going to select one of the available message types and send an example of that. Should select and build. That's good enough. And send junk. Client program should terminate. Okay. The client program should terminate gracefully. The client program should send nothing. Okay. So will that build us? Okay, so let's reread this. Write a C program named client. The client, spelled wrong. The client program should connect to the server on localhost port 42. The client program should run in a continuous loop. Actually, I can do that. Well, here. Forever. The client program's main loop should randomly pause for 1 to 3 seconds. Then select one of the available messages. I'm going to have the pause be lower. So I'm going to have it be from 0.3 to 1.0 seconds. Then select one of the available message types and send it. Randomly select and create. Then randomly select randomly select and create one of the available message types and send it to the server. The client program should terminate gracefully when it catches SIGINT or SIGTERM. The client program should connect to the server the client program should gracefully close its network connections in response to SIGINT. Close its network connections and terminate in response to when it catches SIGINT or SIGTERM. Okay. Okay, so it is set wrap. I think I must have just typed it wrong before. Okay, so that should define, at least off the top of my head, that should define our prompt for what we want the client to do right now. I guess I need a browser. I need to find Gemini and give it that prompt. Let it start running. We're going to go find... oops, didn't want to find that. I want to find this. And we're currently doing video 44. Need to know that in a second when I go to save the files. So yeah, I think my order of events here is that I will get the client working. That'll be this video. We'll clean it up a bit. In fact, I might, depending on the amount of time I have, I might kind of expand on it a little. And then in the next video, we'll switch to using ePoll instead of poll. And really the big thing is I have to understand ePoll. So once I have that server code, it's kind of two things. I want to build a queue that processes the messages on multiple workers, right? That's one thing I'd like to do, but the other is just to learn. So let's download the make file. Okay, so this is 43, but I want to be in 44. So save the make file. Then presumably, yep, this is the client. And then this is going to be the server. And just in case it changed it, it may have. Let's go find the message dot. There we go. Okay, so let's pop back over here. Let's close that for a second. Let's make. Oh, so what do we got here? So make client. Make. I'm sure that's where the error is. That's the only thing that changed. Make. Oh, it's just a missing. Okay. It'll be a missing header or constant definition that we're missing, or a standards definition. Make server. What do we get there? That is interesting. So these are things that are just getting caught on because we're pedantic and extra errors and all errors, right? So we'll fix those up in a second. Let's do the client first. So make client. The internet will answer this one for us pretty easily. It's going to be a missing missing definition, or it's one of those things where that list is the preconditions for having. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Trying to use usleep, but I haven't been getting the following. I have included. So is that where? Let's actually just start here and usleep. So we do have to have this definition. Since glibc, before glibc. So we need a POSIX source definition, is what we need. Are we getting it? Make file. Make. See, this is one of those things that we should be. Oops, Vim server. Vim server. See, we're getting a POSIX definition here. And so it's giving it to us. Man, usleep. Feature test macro requirements for glibc, blah, blah, blah. So, oh, you need both of these. So what the hell is X open source? This I'm not familiar with, but it should be. Haven't learned it yet. What does X open source do? Well, that is going to be so it looks like we want X open source defined as 700. And so I'm actually going to do that in the prompt. So we want to define it to 700. Let's just see if it fixes anything. So this is in the client. Oops. And do we have man usleep? Then the other thing was, of course, that it's defined in standard. Which is right here. Okay, let's make implicit declaration of function usleep. Did you mean sleep? Right. It is, okay, so the other thing they're talking about here is so it is saying use BSD source. And I think I have 2 of the 3 other things. I'd like to figure out what the other one is. I'll go back and look. Oops, I didn't need to. Use default source. Okay. Okay, that does it. So default source, does this do it? That does it. Okay, what happens here? So I want to know what the difference is between default source and POSIX-C source. I want to do a quick read on those. It might ask Gemini. What does this do? Blah, blah, blah. If you define this macro, most features are included from XOpen LFS GNU extensions. The effect is to enable features from 2008 edition of POSIX. That is what, as well as certain BSD and SVAD features. Defining this macro on its own without compiling options such as ANSI or standard C99 has the same effect as not defining any feature test macros. Defining it together with the other or with ANSI enables those features. Yeah, what I really need to know is I want to know, well, what if I want to define to the C18 standard, what really is all of the things that I should be providing? Deprecation BSD source is taking place across 2 glibc versions. Default source. Defining this macro causes the default definition to be exposed even when. So if you need to define. I need portability beyond Linux and beyond glibc, and I dislike ifdef. So define GNU source, define BSD source, define modern glibc will complain about the above if it doesn't see this. So that's. And in our case, I know that this is giving me, for whatever reason, it's giving me usleep. So I guess what these are really doing, right, is they're just saying, hey, this, I mean, literally what it says, hey, expect that you're using the GNU source tree, expect that you're using the BSD source tree, and this one is just, I don't know, both, used by both, maybe, I hope. So I think that the right answer right now is that a program should be defining POSIX-C and default source. And so I want to clean up the prompt to be adding default source. So to do that, vim prompt. When writing C programs include compiler, oops, wow. So POSIX source and default source. When writing C programs, include compiler flags to define both C POSIX source and default source. That should give us a working client at the least. So let's prompt. I could have stayed there. Let's just regenerate that one with that. See what we get. Little stretch while Gemini does the hard work for us. I don't think that's going to fix. It might fix. I didn't look very close at the errors that were in the server. They were of similar nature, but different methods or different functions for sure. So the default source thing could be fixing that as well. See, that was what I would, if you go back a couple of videos when I was talking about the preamble, that's the whole reason that I've been working on that preamble, is because it gets confused about what the target system is, exactly which standard set's being used. I mean, these are things you run into even when you're doing it yourself, because it's not clear that, oh, hey, this thing isn't actually available unless you have this value defined. I've certainly ran into it a number of times, and just like I do, Gemini runs into it. So it's best to get it nailed down and specified completely. Okay, what do we got going here? Let's scroll up and start downloading some of these. So this is message.h, just in case anything changed. This is client. This is server.c. And this is client.c. And now here, it didn't really do what I asked. You can see it does have them both defined. I asked it to put it in the makefile, actually. That's fine. It might do both. We'll see. I didn't look. Yep, it did both. So this is client.c. This is makefile. So note, this is the location of the previous definition. Error no HH. No such file. On line 8. Vim. Is it getting confused and adding some C++ here? Is that where the HH comes from? So this is on server line 8. So what do we get? We're getting a warning. Default source is being redefined. This is something else. So let's start with taking those out. Vim client C. Oops. Make. Okay, the only thing we're getting is a comparison of integer to a different signedness, aka long, and this is on 102 of servers. So this would work, but it's giving us warnings. So let's see. I want to see if I can do a prompt that would change its mind here about how to do this. In server on 10, Vim server C. On 102. Okay. I'd have to look at this pretty close. I don't quite get it, right? So index 102. So index is being passed in as an int. And what is NFD? What was that? I already forgot. NFD man NFDST. It's in poll.h. An unsigned integer, so it's an unsigned integer used for the number of file descriptors, and then index is being, and you'll notice it's not doing what I had asked it to do, which is to use what it should be is uint 64, right? And that compiles. So you'll notice that in the prompt, I am telling it I am saying use the fixed width integer types defined in standard int. So when writing C programs, always use the fixed width. We'll see if we can make it, reinforce it a little bit. The fixed width integer types defined in standard int. Instead of, I'm going to leave it just like that. Just a little bit of reinforcement on that one thing. Okay. And then when we'll see if we can coax it into actually giving us this is something that I haven't really decided on. Like, is it really worth the effort to coax these stupid mistakes out of it? Obviously, I could just kind of keep a mental catalog of these are the several things that always have to be fixed. But let's so let's come over here. Let's go back here. I just want to see if these changes. I don't think I changed anything else. Let's see if this updated prompt can actually get rid of those problems. The reason, I mean, okay, so it's a trade-off. My intention is to make a much bigger prompt here. I want to get much more functionality out of this. So at this stage, I'm kind of willing to wrestle with it a little bit to give it very clear instructions so that it doesn't do these dumb mistakes. But as I get very, very close to the end of what I'm doing, I'm also okay with, well, I just know it's going to screw this thing up and I can just change it. Because I'm not going to be generating, like right now, I know I'm going to likely be generating 10 or 12 or 15 more prompts before I actually get to where I want to be. But if I'm on the second to last one, it may not be worth fixing. I can just do it manually in a couple of seconds. Okay, I'm not seeing the things in the header files. We'll see if it's in the make file. We haven't really addressed how it's structuring the code. That is something that I'll eventually get to. I mean, it's all trade-offs. How much time do I spend doing this? I mean, because I don't know how to do this network code very well myself, it's kind of worth the investment to get it to do something halfway decent. Okay, so I'm just taking a look. We do still have our two definitions here. That was important in case it changed anything. We are downloading makefile. Replace that. Okay, this one should be the client. We are downloading the client. Just to make sure, we'll check at the top. Yep, that was the client. This is the server. Download the server. And then we'll download message.h just in case anything changed. Here is there we go. Everything's downloaded. Let's quit out of this prompt. Make clean, make. Okay, so why did it build anything? Oh, it just changed the structure of the make file. So now it's actually building the intermediate parts. So if I run, so let's split the screen. And let's exit and split the screen or horizontally, split down. So what I want to do is I want to run the server. So it is listening, and then I want to run a client, and it is processing messages. It looks like it's doing what I asked. I'm not going to investigate it any deeper. We'll hold off until the next video, but clearly it's getting an echo test, and there it's getting a time, and I've seen a reverse, so it seems to be doing all of the things. I am going to split right here. Actually, I'll do it down here. I'll split right, and then I'm going to run the client again. And there we have multiple clients. In fact, let's split down and, kind of proving the point. We have many clients that are talking to the server. That is the basic goal of these videos. So I guess I got to stop it so I can do that. Guess you guys don't need to watch me clean up the windows. I'm going to pick this up in the next video where I think I'm going to flip it over to using epoll. And once it's over in epoll, that's where I really need to start to understand the code. Also, we'll find out if any of those definitions, I don't think that they will. The fact that I defined the default, what was that value that we clear Vim, the fact that we're defining default source, I don't think hurts us any. That just tells us that I think that's basically just, well, I don't know what it's doing. It's saying, hey, yeah, I know I'm running GNU stuff, so just give me all the GNU stuff, I think, basically. Anyway, that's within the standards. Let's, since I'm here, let's go into video, make clean, video 44, make clean. So we just have the C files, the header file, the text. All looks good. Git add. And we're going to commit video slash, I don't know how I was doing this before. I guess I can git log video 43 git add commit add video 044. What did I just do? Git I don't know what I was typing before. You get to a point where you just do these things out of habit so fast that it's like easier just to say, oh, do it again, than actually look at what you did wrong. Git push GitHub main, which is probably a bad habit. Okay, I will see you all in the next video.